This happened a couple days, maybe 2 days ago. So I'm gonna make a video on it. But hold on, before I do that, I just want to make sure all crimes okay, let's see. Okay, we'll just talk about it. So, Tyson versus Paul. Now, a lot of you have probably seen it. A lot of you have not. So I will fill you in, and I will fill you in on Mike Tyson. Because I know a lot of people know who Jake Paul is, and a lot of people know who Mike Tyson is, but there are still people who don't know who Mike Tyson is. Mike Tyson, he was a boxer. He was a real boxer. He was called, Iron Mike, the baddest man on the planet. He has had a sketchy past, and I feel it is due to a heavy use of drugs and mental health and just getting hit in the head a lot and just a combination of things, which is no excuse for things he's done. But I think, but yeah, he was a good boxer. And I enjoyed watching watching fights of his. As a kid, I would watch him. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, whoa. So, for information, I think he's played 50-something fights. He's won 50. 44 of those were knockouts. Half of those 44 were knockouts within the first round. And I'm just going to say, Mike Tyson in training, we can see in training that he is still that man. He is still the baddest man on the planet. He is still the Iron Mike Tyson. The man who had a pet tiger. The man who nearly beat someone to death as a kid because they killed his pet pigeon. The man who could knock someone out with one punch within the first round. He was still that. And the match was a cash grab. Jake Paul won. They danced around. It was the most lame fight ever. Netflix sucks because it took 50,000 years to load. It was like trying to watch a 11040p Tetris documentary on a Game Boy Color. Not even a game, like the first ever Game Boy. Like a Soviet Union ripoff Game Boy. Like the entertainment child, whatever you want to call it. And what makes me mad is exactly that. Is I was expecting an actual fight. But I know why Mike Tyson did it. Mike Tyson did it because he needed money for his family, and I respect that. If this was a way to get money for my family, $20 million for my family, absolutely. And you can tell at the beginning of the match that even though he's doing it for his family, he wishes he could just beat him up. Because he doesn't look like he wants to be there. He doesn't look like he wants to be alive. He doesn't even want to look like he wants to be associated with this moron. Because they're saying that, you ever see him introducing at a weight of 190 pounds, 6 foot tall, the problem child, the one, the only Jake Paul, they do the Jake Paul's all, looking good. He's excited, they're hyping him up. And then they do the Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson one was fucking cool as he is, like, and then they're saying something else. He was, he always will be the baddest man on the planet. Iron Mike Tyson! And he doesn't look like he's having him. And the thing that pisses me off is that that's how he might be remembered. I hope not. He's not going to be remembered for his first matches when he knocked people out cold within the first round. When he bit that guy's ear off because he was absolutely insane. None of that. He's gonna be remembered for this shit. And the thing, I've never liked Jake Paul. I hate Jake Paul. I hate Logan Paul. I don't know, like, what they've all done. I know they're scammers and they're liars and they're bad people. But Logan Paul, when it comes to what they're doing now, like, Logan Paul, I like a little more. Because he did wrestling. And even then, that's bad. Because there are people who work hard who want to be in wrestling. And he took that from someone, probably. But the thing is, with him, it's wrestling. It's fake, you know. And I'm not saying, oh, anyone could do wrestling. That's not what I'm saying at all. Wrestling is still a very hard sport. I mean, it's a little easier now. Attitude Era wrestling? Christ. You had to be a Terminator to do that. Oh, yeah, let me throw you through this metal cage 20, 30 feet in the air, and then you're going to walk it off like it's nothing. Okay, let me do a line, and I'll be right there. But it works. Logan Paul, it works. I honestly like it. Not him, but I like it because think about it. No, a lot of people don't like Logan Paul. He's cocky, he's arrogant, all this stuff. So that's why he works well in WWE as a heel. Heel is like what they call the bad guy. Because, you know, he's one of those people who's just like, ugh. Like, I want to see him get beat up, and then it happens. Yeah. Like Dominic Mysterio, who betrayed my glorious queen, my child, my crush. The woman I would let put me through a wall. Rhea Ripley. She has a husband. Anyways, I'm not crying, you're crying. I faked that, by the way. Like, he works well as a villain. Because, and it's funny, if I don't know if they still do it, but when he would come out and he would talk, the crowd would boo him so loud you couldn't even hear him talk over things. He'd go, boo, boo, because he portrayed his father. He's Dominic Mysterio, and if that sounds familiar, Mysterio, it's because his father is Rey Mysterio. You know, he was the short, he wore the, what's that called? Alexa, what is the Mexican wrestling called? Like Lucha Libre. You know, when they have the mask? That's what he had. He had that, and he was short, and he was crazy, though. But it's obvious why they did it. People on the inside, they pay Mike and Jake money. They know how it's going to go. Because they tell all their friends ban Jake. Because obviously, so many people ban Mike Tyson. Who wouldn't? If this was a real fight, if this was genuine, everyone would probably be rich. Because so many people ban Mike Tyson. For the love of God, me and my dad bet with my brother on Mike Tyson. My brother's like, I think Jake Paul's going to win. He bet my dad like $1, and I bet chores. I had to do chores for a weekend. And so the reason this happened was so Mike Tyson could get paid. And so Jake Paul can get into boxing. Listen. Previously before Mike Tyson, he fought 10 fights. Now it's 11 fights. So 10 of those 11 fights were all against older guys. One of them was basically staged, his previous one. And the rest were guys who shouldn't be doing boxing. It's like, I'm trying to think. It's like any athlete. And I know, old, like people say, he's old. He's not that old. He's like 60 something. That is not old. Old is like 70 and above. That's a little old, but in sports, that's also one of the things I like about sports. Like, you get 30 or 40, and you're like, yeah, he's pretty old for his age. 30, 40 is not that old, dude. Like, especially 30s. Like, someone gets in the 30s in sports and like, oh, he's getting up there in the years, you know. He doesn't need someone to wipe his ass. He just got a year older. He's 30. He's not 95, and that's the thing. But it was like an extreme. Like, these guys had not wrestled in a while, so it was not. It's like if you put JV, like a JV league, like a junior, not even junior varsity. It's like if you put Little League up against that MLB. Obviously, MLB is going to come out on top. But one of those, he won all the fights except for one he lost. The one fight he lost was against someone who was his age, and a fair fight. Someone like instead, like, basically all the fights before were like if I fought my brother, or I fought the kids across the street who I really don't like because they did illegal things. And there's nothing wrong with doing occasional illegal, like certain illegal things, but they did things to my brother and threatened him, and like, it's like that. They're like, it's like if I fought Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty's 4'11". I would kill him, and I would gladly do it. I think he's an awful human being. It's not a fair fight. But then it's like, I'm trying to think of someone who's like, maybe not Thatcher. I was gonna say my buddy Thatcher, but he's a little buffer than I am. So I guess, yeah, it's like if I went from fighting those kids to fighting someone my weight, And he fought this guy, and he lost brutally. And I said to my mom, like, I want to become an actor or director. I've said this. I was so mad. I was like, you know what? I'm this close to just giving up on that. Spending the remaining years of my life up until I'm an adult, up until I can, preparing, training, 24/7, 365 to become a boxer. Box Jake Paul. Get to the point where I'm like prime Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. I can do the shuffle so fast it burns a hole in the rug. And I'm not saying, if you work hard at anything, you might be able to do it. That's what I'm saying, is I would work my ass off. I would fight Jake Paul. I would want to be so buff and so absolute. Well, you can't be too buff because then it's like, but I would want to, and then just whoop his ass. Whether it's Mike Tyson first round knockout or it's like final round knockout. And then I could quit then. I would not care. And I don't know if he was serious about this, but I show speed. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot I don't watch too many streamers. I watch Queso. I watch some people who are YouTubers, but they stream as well, And I show speed. I don't watch when my brother watches him. Like, my brother's like, he's the funniest guy ever. And I'm like, he's not the funniest guy ever. I appreciate it. I think he's better than most. Like him, like, I know people are like, Kai Cenat, but like him, Kai Cenat, I don't know if I heard Aiden Ross isn't as bad as he used to be. But, like, I don't know. I haven't watched him. I didn't like him back then. I just didn't watch him. What was my thing? I mean, there were times where I thought it was funny, like him getting all mad or whatever. Or, like, the things he'd say. Like, he is funny. He's creative. And it's fun to watch him. Like, it is fun to watch him occasionally. But it's just, like... And he said he'd make, I think, a year or two to prepare and train to fight Jake Paul. And my respect immediately went like this. It's up there now, like, with people, like, with the people I highly respect. Or, like, people... Because there's two people now that my brother watches that I was like, like, I don't dislike him or anything. It's just not my, cup of tea, not my kind of content. But I like him. He's a good guy. And then they do something or say something. I'm like, you know what? My respect just went from, normal level to here. It was FaZe Rug originally with my brother because he watched him. He still does. And he said something about Jack Doherty and that thing where he crashed his car with his friend on purpose, basically, for clout. And he said, like, he's an awful human being. And I'm like, okay, yeah, my respect just went up for you. Like, speaking out. Tell him. Like, stick to the man. Bro's 4'11". Jack Doherty is 4'11". Give him a fucking swirl. Dude is, like, Disney Channel nerd height and build. He would get swirled, wedgied, and thrown in a locker, and his lunch money dangled above his head. And then for I Show Speed, it's this. He said he would fight Jake Paul if he would want to fight Jake Paul, but he would need a year or two to train. And that's the thing, is I like that. I want him to be humble because he's always been the problem child here, and I know I'm just giving him what he wants. Well, I'm not even giving him what he wants because no one watches basically, but that's the hard thing is now you have all these people, and that's the whole point is they're assholes, they're annoying, they're awful, they're arrogant, they're stupid, and that's the whole point, just to get people to watch them. Neon, Jack Doherty, the Paul brothers, that's how they used to be. I don't know. I don't keep up with them. Aiden Ross kind of used to be like that. There's a lot of people. And it's good to see them humbled. And that's what I was saying is it's hard. Because you can't just say, they're an awful person, this and that. Because then you're giving them what they want. You're giving them the attention. And that's the thing about Jake Paul. Is it's so, people like him, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Oh, look what I do with my money. I'm so cool. I can do whatever I want. Like, dude. And they had those stupid $1 million boxing shorts on. I'm like, $1 million for that pair of fucking shorts? And they had, like, the Mr. Moneybags on them. I was like, they are not that cool, dude. Like, I never understood that about famous people and, like, rich people. Why they buy designer clothes, designer this. And it's like, I'm just not a big fan of designer. I'd rather spend $1 million in Spencer's on band shirts and memorabilia and stuff like that, and like actual clothing that I would be like happy to wear and I think looks cool, than spend $1 million on some shirt by some guy who people say, oh my god, you're wearing that? That's so cool. I'd rather have people say, oh my god, I like that band, So yeah, I'm praying to God that, someone does humble Jake Paul. And it's crazy because so many people took time out of their day. They said start at 7. A lot of people didn't know it was an event, so there was multiple fights. It started at 11:30 or whatever. And there was just there was so much fluff in there, like they stretched it out for so long, and the connection was awful, and the fight was awful. I would have rather I rushed home from work on my bike. I got in the door wheezing because I was late home and I didn't want to miss the fight. Oh, it starts at this time. No, it didn't. It started an hour and a half later. But yeah, if you want to watch good fights or good stuff like that, I'd say watch MMA. I really like one MMA fighter I really like is Paddy Pimblett. He's really crazy. He's cool. He's really good. Or Armored MMA or Kate. What is it called? Armored mixed martial something. It's basically MMA. Look it up. It's mixed martial arts kind of thing. They get in the ring you always see UFC people get in. And they have knight armor on and they fight like that. So I'd rather watch that. I can't believe I wasted $20 or how many ever dollars on chips, dip, and soda for this event. And biked home, nearly killed myself because it was so